Good evening, people of the internet, space pilots and Kerbals all. We're back with the satellites again. The last time I did a video, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. These 6 satellites that are all in geostationary orbit. Half of them were lumped up in an arc less than 90 degrees. I got somewhat depressed about that. Well, not depressed, frustrated, and I ended up logging out and walking away. I came back 2 days later and they're in a pretty good position. The only problem I've got is the long range. If you remember, I've got 3 shortish range sats that will go out to Minmus, and I've got 3 other satellites longer range with, surprisingly enough, by their description, long range satellites. They've also got an awful lot more battery power, a serious amount of battery power. But you notice that we have ComSat 1, ComSat 3, ComSat 2, the short range, and then ComSat 4 long range, 5 long range, 6 long range. Last time I saw them, it was short range, long range, short range, long range, short range, short range, long range. I'm not going to try and work out why, and repositioning them is becoming a pain in the posterior. So we'll ignore it, we'll just battle on. As you can see, my 3 short range satellites, or 50 million kilometer satellites, go out to the Mun. You've seen this, you know how it works. 3 satellites around the Mun, 1 each attached to one of these satellites in geostationary orbit, gives me, hopefully, let's have a look, reasonable coverage of the Mun. But as you can see, the left hand side of the Mun, as we're looking at it, is not covered. If I then try and land a probe or an unmanned, unkerbled device on the Mun, and it's on this side, it's out of satellite range, bang, smack, big booms. And whilst we like bangs and smacks and big booms, it gets a bit frustrating after a while. So try and get back there without showing you what else I've done. Oh, look, a yellow line. What we did around Minmus was to, if you remember, dump, and we'll zoom in on one of the probes. Hello? Oh, here we go. I'm getting worried then for a second. No, we're very... and I picked the wrong... I picked the wrong thing. Anyway, we're zoomed in now, so we can see. Let's turn off. Right. Close in, we have lots of little probes that are all very sweet, and I designed them a bit wrong. They don't have, as you know, they don't have dishes. Ooh, hang on, why is it? Hey, good grief, it's to explode lid. What's going on? Ground control. I killed a probe. Crap. Well, I killed a probe because it's not going to have much power for much longer. Let's try another one and try not to break this one. Switch to. Cross fingers. Very sluggish. No, maybe not. This one's gone as well. Okay, so every time I log into a probe, I'm ripping the... it's all going a bit peaked. Ah, I see what's going on. I don't know whether you can see this, but there's another probe just out there. Minmus probe P4. This is called Minmus probe P4, I'm pretty sure. Minmus probe P4, and there's another Minmus probe P4 down there. That's the probe. That's the batteries and the antenna. That's the batteries, antenna, and the probe head. And that's another one. Okay. Good grief, Charlie Brown. what I will do before we do anything is make sure I have a separate save of the thing. Copy, quick, paste, replace files. Yeah, replace. Right. To make a quick copy of it. Okay, so gee whiz, that's the problem, isn't it? I've seen that once before, where you get big explosions because ships tend to appear on top of each other. So that means, right, so anyway, I'll very, very quickly show you what I've done. Those satellites had the Communitron 16, which gives a 2,500 kilometer range. The idea was that let's go and have a look. Where is it? Trying to zoom in on that one. I'll show you that one later on. The idea was that I was going to stack some larger geosynchronous satellites around about this distance that were going to communicate back to Kerbla. I had a bit of a brainwave. I thought, if I can get a probe on the same orbit as whatever that little planet is, Minmus, I could have one in front, one behind. They're all talking to each other. Let's turn the things on. All the satellites are talking to each other, and they can talk to this. I then realised that to be outside of the influence, the sphere of influence of Minmus, I had to be between, I think it was 2,300 kilometres. The nearest I could be to Minmus is 2,300 kilometres. The range on the antennas was 2,500. With the altitude that they had, I had to be between 2,300 and 2,800 kilometres away from Minmus. I tried it 4 times with 4 different launches. I did it once. It's extremely hard. I got very frustrated. What I did was to chuck these chaps on. Yeah, go on. Should we zoom into it? Oh, go on. Let's give it a lash. Ah, that didn't explode. Right, okay. This is got a lot more battery power. It's got a bigger solar panels because the smaller ones were tending to run out sometimes. And it's got a Communitron 32, which gives me 5,000 kilometer range. All of these outer probes are like that. They then communicate back with Communitron 32s back to, oh God, this is not going to work. Or maybe it will. Back to this beast. Oh God, no, there we go. Right, let's get rid of all of this trash. Back to this beastie, which is effectively got a Communitron 32. This is called Big Sat, and you'll see why later on. Communitron 32, which gives communications to, that's not Minmus, those probes around Minmus, which then give communications to the closer in ring, which gives full coverage over Minmus. This then talks back to Geocom long range Sat 6 and also 1 to 5. So the Sat Geocom, the Kerbin's Geosat 5, so we don't end up with getting blanked by the planet Kerbla. This is on a orbit, the same orbit as Minmus, theory being that it will follow Minmus at whatever range it's at. It's obviously at least 5,000, it's slightly less than 5,000 kilometers of 5,000 kilometers away from Minmus, roughly. It's at the same speed, it's at the same height, altitude, 46,400 and 22 meters, and Minmus is at 46,400 meters. It's as close as I can get it. It took a long time to get it there in the first place. It also has a long range dish, which is not attached to anything. It has 2 Gigantor solar panels. It has a big old engine, which still has some fuel in it. 1,600 meters per second of delta V stats. Pretty good. Overload of 4,000 unit batteries, giving me 48,000 units of battery charge. I sat this on Kerbal and fast forwarded it and kept on adding more and more units until I could go through the entire night with every single antenna turned on and not flatten the battery. It's overkill for the location it's in, but it's, you know, it's here. I've got a little review. This is CAS, the Kerbal attachment thing, which is brilliant. Winches and moving parts and hinges and refueling. It's a refueling thing. Don't know why I put it on there. Heck, you know, it works. I've also got good old Mech Jeb, and this is a radiator which is part of Interstellar Mod. To be honest, it doesn't need, from what I can work out, it doesn't need to be out. It still radiates heat, even though sorry, I've just seen a red light up here saying no connection. Shoot. It still radiates heat, even though it's still stuck in. So whilst we have zero heat output. Now I have a problem. It's not talking to Minmus for some reason. So I can fix that. It talks to long range Sat 5, which, yeah, and 6. See, this is the problem. They were all supposed to be in a nice short range, long range, short range, long range, all opposite each other almost, so that I wouldn't get this breaking communication. But I will fix that by connecting this one. No connection. Once I get connection, I'll connect this back to Sat 4 or one of the other ones even, so that I can get, yeah, actually the ComSat 3 would be a better connection. Then I can get a full connection. Then I can land on Minmus with pretty much ensured that I'm not going to hit anything. God, I hope so. I like the RemoteTech. It's working really well. I do not know whether the movement, this random jumping of probes, is part of RemoteTech or it's part of KSP. To be honest, I'm getting a tiny bit bored with it. I actually want to get on and land stuff. So my next job is, once I've guaranteed communications, and I thought I had done, I'm going to start sticking some what I think is pretty serious stuff on Minmus. Ah, there we go. It's gone back to 6. There's also 5 there. That means I can connect one up to 4 by doing that. Activate to ComSat 4. I could do another one as well, but we won't worry about that. So I need to then go back to ComSat 4, switch to, and point one of its dishes back at that one. Like, oh God, I've got the zoom out thing again. Look, there we go. It's a spitting image. You could almost say it's the same sat. Well, actually, it is. Hello, where is it? What's it called? I'm sure it's called an obvious name. Oh no, it's not round Minmus orbit, it's round Kerbin orbit. There we go, that's the chap. Activate. So that gives me, where is it? There we go. Getting confused. That gives me 3 potential connections, all the long range, that one, and that one. Back to that. That won't get blocked off by anything. As you can see, this is going around Kerbal, and it's the spitting image. All the long range satellites and the one on that, this one on Kerbal are all the same. That will reach out. I don't know what the range is on that. Activate. 350 gigameters. Quite a long way. Quite a long way. Operational. Why won't it turn off? Deactivate. There we go. Right. Save some battery. Not that it seems to be a big problem. Where's the sun? Let's have a little spin and give that a bit more battery. Access to the solar panels. I don't have a radiator on that. Oh, yes, I do. I like the radiators. I think they're quite funky. Anyway, that's really it. It's working. I'm gonna actually, we'll have a little speed up and make sure it doesn't fall to pieces. That's enough. There we go. Oh, look, 3 connected. The moon's connected. It all looks good. We'll wait till they get around the other side. That one's gone. That one's gone. That one's still there. That one reconnects. That one reconnects. So we've pretty much always got two going to Minmus, and that's still pretty much, that's moving. It's climbing very, it's only 4 kilometers higher than when I looked at it previously. I just don't want it to drop its link to Minmus, but then again, it's got enough fuel, so I should be able to give it a little nudge just to decrease its orbital height off of Kerbla a little bit. That's basically it for the time being. When once I've had a mess around on Minmus and flown a load of things there, and you know, I'll make a little base, and I don't know what we'll do. We'll probably do some stupendous great thing that you try and get out of Minmus in one flight with everything attached, keychain, landers and miners, rovers, bases, fuel tanks, everything all in one big hit. So it'll probably lag down the computer and really bugger it up. When I go to do that, I'm toying with not using RemoteTech. I'm not overly worried about the distance. It's just the amount of setting up for RemoteTech is becoming a bit of a bore. I think I need to go and do something else within KSP. Even if I get to the point of going and flying my Zeppelin that I designed. Did I show you that? I don't think I did. I don't know whether it's in this save. Let's have a look. I was quite proud of that. Hooligan Labs hot air balloony joys. If it's not in this load, I will find it and load it up. It looks as close as I can get it to a Zeppelin in KSP. Hey, we don't want to load it in there. It's very slow. I'm going to need to reboot my machine. I haven't done it in a week. Zeppelin. God, I can't remember what I called it. Test airship contains locked or invalid parts. Okay, well, I need to work out what it will tell me. I've got some part missing on it. Okay, well, that's good. I'll have to load it. I've still got the old version, the 0.22. I'll work out what's missing or what isn't missing. It's probably the actual hot air balloon, the Hooligan Labs balloons. Anyway, we'll sign off. We'll leave it to it. Thanks for watching. I hope it wasn't too boring. It was kind of a summary of what's been going on the last week. Although, to be honest, I've been playing with the research stuff with a lot of the new add-ons now fit into the research and the R&D system. So it's actually quite nice. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Have a good evening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.